I've been taking hyaluronic acid every single day for the past 60 days, and the results have been really interesting.
Oh, hi, Mark.
What's up, Freccero fam? Welcome back to my channel where I'd like to explore everything that life has to offer. And of course, a big part of this channel is health, fitness, and supplementation. And one of the most popular supplements in the anti-aging world that's been getting a lot of steam, a lot of hype, and for good reason, is hyaluronic acid. I tried Do Not Age's hyaluronic acid every day for the past 60 days. I'm going to continue taking this because the benefits of hyaluronic acid are amazing. So first off, what is hyaluronic acid? Hyaluronic acid is a sugar that occurs naturally in the body, including the skin, eyes, and joints. The primary function of hyaluronic acid is to provide moisture to these areas of the body, and as you can see here, hyaluronic acid, or HLA for short, plays a crucial role in skin moisture, and as people age, the moisture in their skin decreases. In terms of the benefits, it promotes healthier, more supple skin, can speed wound healing, relieves joint pain by keeping bones lubricated, soothes acid reflux symptoms, relieves dry eye and discomfort, preserves bone strength, and a lot more. Here are a bunch of different studies, as you can see, just kind of scrolling through these quickly. I mean, a lot of different ones in terms of all the benefits of the anti-aging properties of hyaluronic acid, all the amazing benefits, and all these studies to support how beneficial it is. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I never pretend to be one in any of my videos. However, Dr. Brad Stanfield is a doctor, and when I go to his supplements, one of the few supplements he does take is hyaluronic acid. In addition, when it comes to hyaluronic acid, there are different weights, like low molecular weight and high molecular weight. And the Do Not Age's version has a high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, which has been shown to be the best version of hyaluronic acid. And with that being said, let's talk about Do Not Age's hyaluronic acid. Being transparent, I do work with this company. I love all those supplements. I want to stress as well, they did not reach out to me. I reached out to them being like, hey, I want to work with you because you really have the best and the purest supplements. There's some study I read about like Amazon that I think 70% of the supplements on Amazon don't even contain what they say they contain. So that's a big issue, I think, for a lot of people. And when it comes to hyaluronic acid, I've seen a lot of supplements pretty much all over the internet. And what's crazy, especially when you include the quality and the price, 1 year supply of hyaluronic acid with Do Not Age is only $260. That is way cheaper than a lot of other supplements I've seen. And of course, this is a lot better. So you get this tub for 1 year, and it's pretty easy to take. If I open it up, you can see here, I take one of these every day, that's it. And for each one of these pills, like I said, there's 200 milligrams of high molecular weight, pure hyaluronic acid. So you take one a day.
Everybody gets one. Tell them, Peter.
Apparently everybody gets one.
Bingo.
That's it. It's super easy and simple, to be honest. That's what I kind of like about it. I've done a video, for example, about NMN, where I had to take it typically like before I worked out. I had to take TMG to avoid any methylation issues. With this, you take one pill every day. Doesn't matter if it's in the morning or the night, with or without food. So it's incredibly simple to take. Now let's talk about my own personal experience when it comes to hyaluronic acid. I do want to stress, and this is important, I find when it comes to supplements, there are mainly two different types in terms of feeling the effects, so to speak. One is when you take it, you feel it almost right away, or you notice it almost right away. To use an example, when I have NMN, for example, I remember feeling it right away. I could tell pretty quickly that, oh wow, this is doing something. Same thing, like say with creatine monohydrate. I noticed my workouts were almost instantly better. Caffeine is probably the most notable example, right? And those are some examples of supplements that you take that you kind of feel the effects almost right away. Other ones though, I feel like you don't feel them, so to speak, when you take them, but you notice the benefits slowly and steadily over time. That's why for this video, I want to wait 60 days of taking it every day to be like, okay, do I notice any effects or not? And what's interesting about hyaluronic acid, and I feel like this is true for a lot of other supplements in this category where you don't feel it right away, but you just notice the benefits over time, is more of a subtle thing where I'm like, wow, I'm not having this issue. For example, when it comes to me, one, I actually was in San Diego last week. I had a crazy time being out on the beach. I'm not gonna lie, I did not know I was gonna be out in the sun all day. So I was out in the sun all day, partying, having a great time, did not wear any sunscreen. And I woke up the next day with a decent sunburn, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be like peeling, this is gonna hurt really bad, whatever. A day or two later, my skin 100% fine. Now, of course, I do not suggest going out in the sun and not wearing sunscreen. Of course, that's like the worst thing you can do. But what's interesting, as you can imagine, I was like, this is very weird. Like normally I'd be super sunburned. It would be hurting really bad. I'd definitely be peeling and all that kind of stuff, as we all know. Yet I had none of those effects whatsoever. And that's what made me realize, like, wow, this is actually working. Another thing I noticed was my joints and joint pain. I talked about that as well. Like I said, it's not something I started taking and instantly my joint pain went away. I'll be honest too, I don't really have like really bad joint pain, but especially because a lot of my workouts involve calisthenics, parkour, and acrobatics, I'm very rough on my joints, especially my wrists. Out of anything, actually, ironically, is my wrists. And I noticed over the past couple months or 60 days of taking this every day, I noticed after a few weeks when I'd work out, when I'd be done with my workout, especially like say if I was doing planche training or something like that, I'd be like, wow, my wrists actually don't hurt that bad. Maybe they're getting stronger, which could be the case. Maybe it's something else. But what I realized is by taking this every single day, over time, I just happened to not notice I had any pain in my wrists after working out, which before I almost always did because I'd really be pushing myself, working on planches or handstand push-ups or something like that. And I had no pain whatsoever, which is awesome, gonna be honest. And that's why I want to mention this aspect of hyaluronic acid that is in this category of supplements that you won't take it and immediately feel, this crazy effect. It's something that you take every day, and over time, you notice that you're not having these skin issues, you're not having these joint issues, etc., etc. In addition to, let's talk about these skin effects, not just with the sunburn, but I have had people tell me, which is interesting from some friends who I haven't seen in a couple months, be like, oh, Mark, you're looking good. Are you working out more? You just look younger. And I'm like, hey, I would definitely take that. And I want to say something as a side note too. I think this is important. I think a lot of times when people think of skin health when it comes to taking, like, say, hyaluronic acid or collagen is another really good example, they look at it from a purely cosmetic standpoint, having less wrinkles or looking younger. Of course, nothing wrong with that, but remember, your skin is incredibly important for health and especially anti-aging. I remember hearing about this study from Dr. David Sinclair, one of the most notable figures in the anti-aging world, and he was talking about this study where there was a bunch of different pictures of different people's faces, and they said to people like, okay, just guess what age they are. And at first, this study seemed purely cosmetic, right? Like, okay, based off how they look, how young or old you think they are. However, they then took all those people they took the pictures of and measured their actual biological age, and it turns out that the average age of what people guessed almost exactly mirrored their actual biological age. And I want to mention that because I think a lot of times, like I mentioned, when people think about cosmetics, they think of only the look or looking younger, or looking better, or looking healthier, etc., etc. But remember, having healthier skin or looking younger isn't just for looks, so to speak, although I guess that's a benefit of it. It is also for anti-aging and living a long and healthy life. Now let's talk about the negative effects. Are there any negative effects or cons? I'm gonna be honest, very rarely do I say this in any of my videos. Not really. I'm very transparent in all my videos. I always talk about the pros and the cons. Doesn't matter my affiliation with the company. Like, for example, on the NMN video, I talked about the cons that exist with NMN. When it comes to hyaluronic acid, one, super easy and quick to take. I don't really have anything negative to say about that. It's just a pill. I also will say too, I personally cannot swallow pills. I think I've mentioned that in a couple other videos. So I personally open up the capsule, pour it in, like, say, water or my shaker cup when I'm having my pre-workout stuff. I drink it. That's it. It's pretty simple. In addition, when it comes to these side effects, again, I've not really noticed any. You can see the statement here that people using hyaluronic acid regularly generally report very few side effects. This is probably because the body produces hyaluronic acid naturally, which means there's little risk of allergic reactions or even potentially negative effects. However, I do want to stress every single person is different. So of course, if, like, say, you take this and you do get any negative side effects, of course, stop taking it or consult with a doctor or a licensed professional. But I gotta be honest, I've not really seen any negative side effects. I think the only negative thing I could think of, if I had to be very, very nitpicky, is in a big picture perspective, the price, being honest. Now, for me, after studying supplements for years and after taking all these anti-aging supplements, $260 for an entire year supply is super cheap. That comes out to be roughly about $22 a month. Now, I'm gonna be honest, for some people in the supplement world who are big into this space, they're like, oh, that's nothing for an entire year supply of high quality hyaluronic acid. Perfect, that's an amazing price. For other people though, I'm gonna be honest, like, say if you're really just getting into this, I mean, $22 every month or $260 right away for a year's supply, that is a good amount of money to spend right away, especially like say if you're like, oh, I don't know if this is worth it or not. And in addition, on Do Not Age's website, the minimum amount you can buy is 60 capsules for $45, about $22 a month. But you do have to spend that $45 initially to kind of test it out. But I gotta be honest, I love taking it. I plan on taking hyaluronic acid every day for pretty much forever. It's now a main staple when it comes to these supplements I take, especially for all the positive benefits and of course the anti-aging benefits. It's super simple and easy to take.